back in March, the very first week of the year. Advantage so far in these USL Championship playoffs provided by Hisense has been very, very important. Home team, East or West, has won. And continues to hold tonight here in Birmingham and later on this evening, San Diego, California.
Playing for 7 months, everybody with the goal of hosting playoff matches, because it does make a difference playing at home, on your field, in front of your fans, without the added fatigue that comes from travel.
That away. And for Pittsburgh, Birmingham side that started play in 2019, narrowly snuck into the playoffs, won at North Carolina. Days later had to go to Pittsburgh, who was the #1 seed in 2019. Huddled in that contest, came back, made the playoffs again in 2020. Once more in 2021. Are again playing at home for the first time in 22. Dixon on the long ball, his cross cut out by Cronali.
Sorry, an unbelievable first touch from Dixon, not just to receive the ball, but to put it beyond Jake Roof. Really good first touch, creating an excellent opportunity.
Alex Dixon, the first half out. Danger he creates was going to be so important to this game. Hey, Alex Dixon, a couple of opportunities in the attacking third here in the second half. Beer up. Way too late. It was over the touchline by the time he made contact. Legion FC fans don't miss a minute of the action the rest of 2020-22. Club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every USL Championship on ESPN Plus. USL, MLS, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, or at plus.espn.com. The rest of the USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense.
But in Europe, looking forward to the 1 or 2 games that might be viewable in this country. Now, players grow up watching every game from around the world. See it in the quality of play all over the country, the number of players that have soccer brains, the soccer touch, the ideas that it takes to compete at the highest level.
Ervo chopped down, free kick given to Legion FC.
Watch games day after day, week after week. Helps in every player's soccer education.
These first round games have been a delight. They put up 3 goals on Miami. Memphis had 3 goals as well on Detroit. I'll get 2 of them rather late. Brings goals after the 84th minute at home against an RB side that a lot of people were picking to upset the Switchbacks. For Meadow Republic, the second half goals as well. Past New Mexico, as Mark couldn't quite keep that in play. Beer up. Down, pounding him. Done by him, out the other side. Waiting. Pass left a little bit to be desired. Picked off by Asiadu, who gets right to the feet of Juan Agadello. Aravo. Martinez, lovely flick. Back to Aravo. Kasim! Just wide of the mark.
Prosper's team just couldn't quite get there in time. Tried to reach with that right leg. Ball was just a few inches out of his reach. Great service across. Prosper desperately diving, just couldn't direct it on target.
Lovely run from deep in midfield by Zach Yorovo, the Haitian international. So it was Ricardo Forbes at bay in midfield. Nunez as far as Martinez. Enzo Martinez. He's off a shot, leaves it. Agudelo, his shot is blocked. Rivera. Rivera can't clear it away. Asiadu around one man. Leaves it. Marlon Santos can't quite bring it down.
Marlon Santos should have done a little better with this one, not even testing the goalkeeper. A great look from just outside the box, but the pressure from Birmingham Legion winning the ball in the Pittsburgh end, really allowing them to keep the pressure on this Pittsburgh Riverhound side.
Santos scored 9 times this year. Frame that time around, but Birmingham picking up the pressure 10 minutes into the second half. Lovely touches. Marlon Santos gets around Dixon. Marlon Santos again, clattered to the ground by Weeks. A free kick given, and this might be our first card of the night. And it is.
First card of the night. It may be the first foul we've had in the second half. Both teams have just been running up and down and playing with very few interruptions. This one a clear foul against Pittsburgh.
Scorecard brought to you by Rubio Law Firm as Shane Wheat is booked. Little question about that call. Birmingham Freightliner, free kick coming for the home side. Martinez targets Amax. Of red shirts congregating near the back post.
A lot of bodies forward.
Or Martinez can serve. Eric Tattersall, a referee, is going to have a discussion with those bodies that are not giving much ground. Martinez drives it in front of goal, and Waite had to make sure he had that post covered. He did in the end.
Waite with a big smile on his face saying, "You're not going to catch me with that." Angle, it looked like it was actually very close. Might have glanced off of the outside of the post. Get a better look at it from this angle. Just wide. Waits did look like maybe he had it covered if it had been on target.
So Martinez, the veteran, just making sure Waite stayed on his game there. As a decade his senior, or the 23-year-old keeper, has been up to the task tonight. Griffin looking over the top. Mertz made the run. Van Okel off his line. Pressure from Pittsburgh to win possession back. Canardo Forbes. Ikwa for Cicerone. Cicerone's cross by Dean, headed away by Crognale. Asiadu. Asiadu. Find Martinez. Martinez. Up for a moment. Here's White. The back post. Agudelo couldn't quite get there. It's headed out of play by Wheats. A corner kick coming for Birmingham Legion FC, brought to you by Chick-fil-A, their third of the night, as Agudelo looks a little bit shaken up.
On Agudelo, it's up for this cross from Prosper Kasim, but I believe he heads right into the back of, I can't tell if that was Arturo Ordonez, might have been Shane Wheat.
Nunez hits away the service from Marlon Santos. Jake Roof has a go from top of the box and didn't miss by much. It was deflected wide for another corner.
Hounds disagreeing with the official's call. Either way, they better get back and get organized.
Corner, and Birmingham wanted to play quickly while Pittsburgh having a very spirited discussion with our referee. Another Chick-fil-A corner kick. The back post, Wait with a punch, gets it away from trouble. Roof back into the mix, a bit too far for Alex Cernali. The goal kick in the end. Like this opening quarter hour of the second half, Birmingham Legion have put some pressure on this Pittsburgh back line.
Definitely have. They've been creating some real chances to score. They've been stepping very high to apply pressure when Pittsburgh does have the ball. So far, it's been paying off.
Less than a half hour to go tonight. Still scoreless between Birmingham and Pittsburgh. Shot count continuing to climb in favor of the home side. It's 12-2 shots. FC. Cerrone into the channel for Kasim, but a bit too heavy.
Noted it earlier, Prosper Kasim and Marlon Santos have switched sides of the field back to their more natural wings. Prosper on the right so he can cut in on his left. Marlon Santos on the left so he can cut in on his right.
Birmingham fans, don't forget to stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news, like upcoming USL Championship playoff game info. Sure to follow at BHM Legion on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The Legion FC app today. Dixon on the run. Can he get there before Roof? Yes, he can. Dixon trying to get around Roof, who has his red this time around.
1v1 defending. Just a moment. Jake Roof was on an island by himself. Did really well to slow down the attacker, be patient. Won the ball when he could truly be sure of winning it.
Dequa. Vita on his back for a moment. Can't quite clear their lines. Dixon a serve in the direction of Cicerone, who squares it for Dequa, who doesn't quite make clean contacts. Vita does the safe thing, ushers it over the end line for a Pittsburgh corner.
Two players that you have to worry about for this Pittsburgh side. Somehow Russell Cicerone always creates opportunities for himself and for others. That time it was a clever header. Dequa just didn't quite make full contact, but still almost put it in the back of the net.
Second corner of the night for Pittsburgh. The back post. It was over the end line, according to the AR on the far side. Goal kick in the end. Diadou trying to find Kasim. Cicerone got a piece of it instead. Dequa. Vita. Prevost is called for the foul. Perhaps starting to put their foot on the gas a little bit more here over these last few minutes. The Riverhounds find something going forward. That familiar spot. Roof. Nunez. Same page with Dixon that time. Like a monster game for that man, Jake Roof. Biggest games he started in his professional career. Alex Dixon on that far side. So far, self well.
Games you dream of when you're young, at home, in a playoff match, playing in your hometown nearby, and you get placed against one of the best players in the league, somebody who's got all the skills and technique in the world. Jake Roof has been living up to the moment.
Work from Williams to cut out that service from Kasim. Corner kick brought to you by Chick-fil-A, taken short. Service away by Forbes. Pittsburgh have a man down. Start play quickly. Vera holding his right knee.
First half, part of this second half, have been very free-flowing with very few stoppages.
Looks to be all right, so it will be a throw in for Birmingham, and it looks like Pittsburgh are going to make their first changes of the night. Few moments. Away. Enos. The top, Ordonez. Hurts headed away. Forbes finishes the job. Dixon looking for the run of Dequa, who's off and running behind Kavita. Dequa brings it down. What a first touch that was from Dequa. He waits for a little bit of help. Forbes, other side for Rivera, who's back to where he was, that knock in his right knee. Worked by Crognale defensively, and now Birmingham can go the other way. Agudelo has Marlon Santos to his left. Still Agudelo. Marlon Santos squares it back instead of going for goal. And Williams sends it away from trouble.
Marlon Santos has got to shoot this ball. Juan Agudelo doing exactly what you would teach. Dribble at the defender, draw him to you, and play your teammate in on goal. It takes a left-footed touch right there. That he tries to force it back into Juan Agudelo. Truly golden opportunity goes awry.
The throw, Roof. Birds, and another throw for Legion FC. Will be a double change coming for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. First, the Hounds have some defending to do. Martinez. For Dean. Kasim. Lets it out. Dean runs it back down, winning the foot race against Cicerone. Towards Agudelo. Great touch from Agudelo.
A few individual moments of terrific skill. First from Dequa, then from Juan Agudelo.
A bit slow to get up after that challenge with Kavita. Thought he won the whistle. The referee thought otherwise. Birmingham prepping a change of their own down below as well. Official a bit crowded right now with players to check in. Agudelo with a man on his back. Curvo back to Agudelo, but just a bit too heavy was that pass. And now, substitutions coming for both sides. Things first, Birmingham are going to make a change. Marlon Santos, who is coming off. Sadiq Balarbi is coming on. William off, the Englishman on.
Or if maybe there's a little bit of an injury here that we weren't aware of.
Side of things, Toby Sims come into the game for Alex Dixon. The Hounds. Kelly check in as well. Like he's going to replace Shane Weeks. Weeks, who is on a yellow card, comes off, and Dixon, who is danger threat so far tonight, come off as well. Ellie and Sims now in for the Hounds. Balarbi in the 3 Sparks. 70th minute.
Birmingham Legion, I think this is influx of speed and some fresh legs. Pittsburgh, I believe, we're seeing a little bit of a tactical change.
Not a bad idea there from Agatello, but could not keep the volley down.
Pittsburgh has been under pressure. Made a double change, and then there was a lot of conversations going around the field between players as instructions were passed from one to the next. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go to 5 in the back instead of 4, just try and solidify the defense after Legion have really been running at them this early part of the second half.
Might get it around Kavita. You able to turn and find Arivo. Trying to get through to Bellarabi. Martinez. Kelly on his back. Still Martinez. Held back by Kelly, and now the whistle blows. Free kick for Legion FC. Tattersall letting everybody play there for a moment before finally stopping things with his whistle.
So Martinez showing off his relentlessness on the ground, the ball behind him, but he never gives up on the play, just fights through it. Eventually has taken down again.
Air, ground, doesn't matter for Martinez. Free kick brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner. Bit of an awkward angle.
The ball like this would go wide and then get served in. Don't have too many options wide.
Martinez does go wide. Agatello, Cassim! Straight from the training ground, Birmingham Legion lead this Eastern Conference quarterfinal.
Prosper Cassim, the man who scored the first ever goal for Birmingham Legion, has put them in front in this match. You may have noticed all the players going and jumping on Connor Smith, the assistant coach. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that was a play he drew up. They trained on it this week, and it's paid off for the team, at least so far, putting them in front in this very big playoff match.
Another look. What about this?
Perfect touches from everybody. Don't think of Prosper Cassim as the man who's going to win balls in the air, but he does on that occasion.
Prosper Cassim, the Ghanaian who scored so many huge Birmingham Legion goals, and have just scored his biggest. Birmingham in front with 17 minutes to go. Kelly. Wide for Sims. Doing the defending on that far side. Plays the switch. Griffin. Cicerone. Might come off between he and Mertz. Birmingham want to counter.
The minutes after a goal are really dangerous minutes for both sides. The emotions and the energy are sky high. It's hard to control yourself. You want to stay composed. You want to keep your team disciplined. Pittsburgh is going to feel like they have to take some risks. Birmingham just doesn't want to make any mistakes. That change in energy can make a big difference in a match.
Comes Kelly around the slide from Agatello. Yellow shirts bombing forward. Mertz got his cross away. Got to the back post, but just a bit behind Rivera.
I think Alex Cronali got just a little flick on that to skip it past everyone.
Back out to that wide area. Sims late arriving. His shot blocked by Arivo. Great ball from Roof to find Cassim running. Cassim, the goal scorer. Out for Martinez. Martinez! Wait is there. Game getting end to end with a quarter hour left.
That goal has really opened things up. Both coaches spent most of this game sitting in their chairs. Both are now up edge of their technical areas.
Like Pittsburgh is prepping at least one, if not more changes, if they can that equalizing goal. Final quarter hour. Pierce has grabbed a shirt. He's coming on for certain. Like William Yang is coming on in a moment as well. Griffin gives possession away. Agudelo trying to hold off Ordonez. Agudelo just dispossessed in the end. Emergency defending from the Spaniard.
Done really well because Juan Agudelo had a great touch around him. You thought he might be in on goal. Somehow Ordonez just managed to flick it off of his foot.
Roney taken off it by Dean. Pullback all the way on the other side of the park to Mark Cerrone. Held in check by and large tonight. Switch. Roof. Hello back to him. Cut out by Ordonez again, who has played really, really well tonight. Lou Kelly. Forbes for the run of Dequa. Ollie with him stride for stride. Just inside that flag. It'll be a throw from the corner, and now Pittsburgh will make their double change.
First substitution brought on. Change of shape in their team. Added a defender. Now they've taken a defender off and brought on two attacking players. Clearly a change in thinking.
Vera off. Williams off as well. Offers a bit of defensive support, but a Yang attacker through. The fifth appearance of the year for Yang, but he comes on biggest game for Pittsburgh so far this season. The way of the trouble. Lonnie Peters, the man that was booked twice last time these two teams met here protective a month ago and was sent off each time. That time this year, Peters comes off the bench after 22 starts. Yes. Hear it. Griffin keeps it down here. Hurts. Away once more. Through the traffic, Birmingham come away with it. Hello, for a little bit of help. Plays it for the touchline. Throw for Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, these next 12 minutes go by so quickly. Feel like a flash if they're not able to get the goal that they're looking for.
Yang against Dean. The byline, Dean was there with him.
Great defending from Johnny Dean. Didn't even think about trying to win the ball, just got his body in between the man and the ball and let it run out of play.
Fans, the journey to glory continues this upcoming Friday, October 28th, as the USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense, the conference semifinal stage. Catch all the action on ESPN Plus until the championship final Sunday, November 13th at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. ESPN 2, ESPN Deportes, XM. Conference final has a good one between the number 4 seed Birmingham, the number 5 seed Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh trying to pull one back. Yang out in front of Dequa. Now Birmingham is going to make a change. Mikey Lopez, the veteran, coming on for the goal scorer Prosper Kasim, who's going to get quite the ovation down below.
Prosper Kasim gets a standing ovation from the crowd. Winger off, Defender on.
Give a big hug for the man who, by all appearances, looks like drew up that set-piece play that Birmingham Legion ran to perfection. Play the difference match to this point. Work defended by Forbes to bring that down. Murch trying to go direct. Lopez quickly garners his first touch. Lopez cuts out that pass from Peters as well. Hello. Kelly, referee said it was clean. Mertz. Ordonez. Berg started tonight in a back four. Looks more like a back right now. Forbes' pass cut out by Dean. Gadu. Second ball, but couldn't corral it. Sims gets around the slide of Roof. Still Sims cutting it back. Asid who lost his footing, but still away of the pass.
Gadu slipping right into the path of the ball.
+8 minutes left tonight at Protective Stadium. Berg chasing after a half goal from Prosper Kasim. Birmingham the lead. Sims area once again. Sims' service. Back post all the way throughout the other side for Canardo Forbes. Ines away from Peters that time. Clears it away.
Legion a little bit deeper, letting Pittsburgh come at them, making sure that they don't get beat over the top. Also providing just space for themselves to counterattack if they do win the ball back.
Ordonez. Started Ordonez. Picked off by Aravo. Camp can counter here if they like. They do in a wide area. He's got Pilarpi in front of him. He's got Lopez joining as well. Get off it in the end. Good work by Angelo Kelly tracking back. Aravo goes to ground, keeps it in the attacking third for Legion FC. Will Lopez have a go? No. Martinez taken off it by Peters. Urging the Riverhounds forward. Was flicked, doesn't quite come off. Cerrone. Work Agadello able to keep his feet, keep possession as well. Martinez looked it up this time, or at least looked like he was going to. Right now working in the favor of the home side.
Agadello looked a little bit tired. Hard defensively all night. Stepped and pressed as well as held the ball up when it's played into his feet. Minutes left in this match.
Yang couldn't quite keep his feet. Rather win a possession. He's still running. Agadello. Over the top. Pilarpi couldn't quite get there. By Sims. It's a throw for Birmingham, and Birmingham going to make a couple of changes. Comes to their feet. Will Birmingham make those changes now? It looks like they will. You said Juan Agudelo looking a little bit ragged. I believe he's one of the men coming off. First things first, Anderson Asiadu coming off, being replaced by Bruno Lapa, and then Ryan James replaced Agudelo.
Player switches, but there'll be some positional switches here. Sure, Mikey Lopez will slide into the defensive midfield, which is the normal role where Anderson Asiadu was. That will allow Bruno Lapa to slide into attacking midfield, which is his normal role. Ryan James coming on for Juan Agudelo, but I'm sure we'll see Ryan James slide wide left. Not only attack, but he's also an excellent defender.
And restart play. 6th minute here at Protective Stadium. Never home game in the playoffs. Short franchise history for Birmingham Legion FC, and right now the home side in front. Pittsburgh, a consistent force. SL Championship playoffs behind their head coach Bob Lilly. South mix for the 5th straight season. Right now, the playoff run here in 2022 is in jeopardy. 87th minute, deep south.
Legion have brought on some fresh legs, some excellent defenders, but they've also gotten much smaller. Pittsburgh is able to get the ball wide and serve balls in. Have fewer big players to battle with in the air.
Big ball played over the top in the direction of a Yang. Headed to keep it in play. Inez finds Bellarby. Lopez has been picked off by Kelly. Goes to ground to try to keep it with the Hounds. Exactly what happens. Forbes out the other side. Yang. Just blocks backside of Dean.
Not quite the way you teach defending, but it worked so far for Johnny Dean.
Ellie in a crowd. Ordonez. Pittsburgh's got one more change to make here in a few moments. First, a long stretch of possession here for the Riverhounds. Kizza of Uganda. Back in at the next stoppage. Griffin. Peters. Yang. Dean. Inez there providing defensive support, and it redirects out to Bellarby, whose touch gets him around Ordonez. Bellarby go for goal or head to the corner? It looks like the latter.
Got the pace to run to goal if he wants to.
Last touch by Bellarby, a goal kick for Pittsburgh, and now they will make that change. Kizza coming on. It's the veteran Kenardo Forbes coming off here in the 89th minute.
Defensive midfielder off. Those guys who you can play almost anywhere, but I'm sure he's going to be asked to play a very attacking role to run and try and stretch this Birmingham defense.
Loan from New England, immediately the ball in the attacking half. Mertz, channel for Dikwa. Rita got there first. James gives it up. Sims. Mertz. Dangerous ball. Kizza scores! An instant impact for Edward Kizza. Almost immediately off the bench, he ties this quarterfinal at 1.
Barely a minute to go. Pittsburgh sending more bodies forward. Adding Kizza to the attack. Finds a way to slip himself in between two defenders and flick this ball into the far side netting.
Edward Kizza, the former Pittsburgh Panther, now scores the biggest goal of the year for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Behind Jake Ruffin in front of Alex Cronali. He finds that gap. Great snap header down and into the far side netting.
One our score here at Protective Stadium. Crowd to their feet, trying to cheer on the home side into stoppage time. 3 minutes of stoppage time confirmed down below, brought to you by UAB Medicine. Deadlock is unbroken after stoppage time. We head extra time. Vita, rather physical challenge there on Deekwa. No whistle as Deekwa's down behind the play. There's one more scoring opportunity left. Regulation.
Had made a couple of changes to bring on defensive players, Ryan James, Mikey Lopez in particular. They have enough to find a goal in these closing moments.
Cam operating carefully. Ready 80 seconds into our minimum of 3 minutes. Lopez looking over the top for Dean. Lapa, edge of the area. Instead, Ordonez got there first. Lopez on the half volley. Vicious effort, but it didn't miss by much.
Lopez has never been shy about shooting. That was a really difficult ball to hit. Not only hitting it out of the air, but tried to bend it around the defender. Off by much.
It sends it away as we enter the 3rd minute of stoppage time. The Birmingham bench, last touch by the home side. A second half in particular. This has been goals from both sides. Prosper Kasim in the 72nd. Is straight off the bench and into the score sheet in the 90th. For maintain possession, are in no hurry. Start things.
Known as a player's game. Whistle blows to begin the match. It's the players on the field who make all the decisions. Birmingham Legion scored off of a set play drawn up by assistant coach Connell Smith. Very late in the game, Pittsburgh makes a change of personnel, one that pays off almost immediately for them. And the coach's decision changes the flow of the match.
That is the end of regulation. Final Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Need more than 90 minutes to decide it. Second half goals from each side have tied us at 1 apiece. Get an extra half hour coming here at Protective Stadium. Atmosphere tonight has been great. So far tonight itself down below us has been excellent. Fitting that another 30 minutes are forthcoming.
Neutral fans enjoy the extra 30 minutes. Pittsburgh fans will be happy that they get the 30 minutes. Birmingham players and fans probably very disappointed. They thought they had it won with just a minute and a half left to go.
90 minutes in the books here at Protective Stadium. 1-1 our score. Mike, let's get a look at how we got here. First things first, it took 72 minutes, but Birmingham eventually opened the scoring.
That piece clearly been practiced all week long, something we hadn't seen all season long. Prosper Kasim, not the biggest man on the field, but gets the goal.
On the other end, Edward Kizza, straight off the bench, makes almost an instant impact.
Like Fanwell Kavita got drawn out of his normal central back role. That allowed just enough space for Kizza to find the gap, get his head on the ball, putting it into the backside netting.
What a play from Edward Kizza, just his second goal of the year. Loan from New England Revolution, actually made 8 appearances for Memphis earlier this year, was recalled and then on loan again, but this time to Pittsburgh. Browns fans certainly thankful he was sent to Pittsburgh the second time around. Kizza, Pittsburgh season for now. Now Mike and everyone, their changes. Pittsburgh used subs to try to change the game. Birmingham made a lot of defensive changes after they scored. That impacts the next 30 minutes.
Birmingham coaches are trying to figure out right now, how do we rearrange this group of players into an attacking unit, taking off almost all of the attacking players, brought on 2 very defensive-minded players in Ryan James and Mikey Lopez. Shape what nation, who goes where, that we can create chances again.
Pittsburgh has made 5 changes. Birmingham's made 4.
Pittsburgh has the opposite problem. We brought on all these attacking players, but we got no defenders left on the field. How do we rearrange this group of players to be a little bit more balanced?
One original starting back 4 for the Riverhounds remains. It's Arturo Ordonez, who has played an excellent game tonight.
Been big all over the field, winning balls in the air, intercepting passes, and connecting passes.
Claus in the house, wants to Christmas, but Christmas more a state of mind than anything.
Does he have a gift in his bag for either one of these sides as they head into a very grueling overtime period?
Time starts here in just a moment. Coin flip down below between the 2 captains. Kavita. One by Kavita. None of our USL Championship playoff games this weekend. One for time. This one has.
Indications are that there are going to be 6 minutes of stoppage time at Stade Saputo.
The winner goes to Louisville, Kentucky next week.
Collins does his defensive duties admirably. Will be a little bit of a noise when they see that 6.
Definitely 1 or 2 not moving freely for NYCFC. They've done some chasing this afternoon. Controlled large parts of the game, giving up possession. You still have to chase around. You still have that psychological pressure of needing to be in exactly the right shape.
For NYCFC, if they are to progress, the only chance they have got of being at home now for the rest of 2022 is if they meet FC Dallas in the final. It's the only time that they might be back on familiar ground, whatever that ground may be for NYCFC, of course. Is Brogia, who made the goal. That wasn't a bad ball in either. And Kyoto will feel he could have done more with it.
Yeah, just from those... I know the goal came from those deep positions, but generally they're not the positions that you score from with the ball going into the box. It is much easier to defend the balls going into the box from there. Got to be brave enough to get that extra pass in. Put the ball in from those wide areas. Can you fashion something there?
Kyoto. Clearance by Parks. Contact on Pereira isn't given as a foul. Mihailovic sends it back in. Callens doesn't want to take the risk, despite Sean Johnson, his goalkeeper, rushing towards it.
Defends the box well, Callens. Shows his experience and his athleticism. Thought his booking was inexperienced in the first half from him, but certainly defended really well, taken over responsibility. With Shallow going off.
Tom Tinnerholm with the latest clearance, who is on course to play his part in a lengthy NYCFC run in the postseason, having not been able to do so in 2021, the Swede, because of an ACL injury. Miller's cross. This time is Callens, who once more is using his frame to good effect. Rogier back in, and then a big win by Kyoto, and Johnson's not held on to it under pressure from Toy. And suddenly a bit desperate from NYCFC.
They've got the bodies in there and they're reacting well to it. Johnson's just got to be stronger there. At this stage, you're probably not going to get those sorts of free kicks. It might have been reversed if it had been looked at. You've just got to go and dominate.
Johnson over Toy's head and out of the reach of Kyoto. Touched behind by Tinnerholm.
Much more dangerous situation to put the ball into the box from. See how dangerous it is. Tinnerholm can only scramble it away for a corner. Has defended it really well.
Well, we're in for a mad finish if Montreal get one here. Mihailovic and Torres. And Johnson will do well to keep that ball in his hands as long as possible.
Certainly will. Torres have done more just to nod this back across goal. Stretching for it too much. You can let it run as well and keep it in play. It's a bit of an easy give up of possession there to a grateful goalkeeper. It's an interesting choice from him, though. Just gone for full distance. No one chasing this one down. Another attack. Another look at the clock in the back four. You realise that the clock's not moving for some reason at this point. Starting to hallucinate slightly.
And Montreal would love to wind it back. Wanyama's little touch. It's Prezera. Kai Kamara. Eventually off Tinnerholm's head. Not giving up the chase yet, Montreal. Mihailovic, who has
book tonight, Shane Wheat off that second half. Credit to our referee tonight. He's done a good job keeping this match going.
Very few cards. He's allowed the game to flow. You can argue a call here or there, as you always can. But he's not been topic of the game. He's not been the highlight of the game. In the play on the field that's made a difference in the match.
Ordonez. The runners forward. Dequa certainly one of them. Kavita. Red though. Long 90-plus minutes for Albert Dequa. Half minutes into our first 15-minute period of 2 extra time. Yes, dropped a little bit deeper to start this extra time session. Touched by Pittsburgh. Keza off of Bruno Lapa. Riverhounds FC. Vita working equal once again. That's been theme tonight. Captain did himself well once again. By Bruno Lapa. Here's that pass before it snuck out of play.
And they're struggling to connect passes here. Changed almost their entire attacking unit. Kept the backs the same. Been very solid in the back these first few minutes. Overtime. Pittsburgh a little bit the opposite. Got their attacking players still on the field, but it's an all-new defense. I wouldn't be surprised to see mistakes.
Martinez! Didn't miss the post or the frame by much. Best attacking spell Birmingham has had here in this extra time.
Martinez started the game playing very high up the field, dropped into a more defensive midfield role, but that gives him more room to come forward as he does here. Very good chance as you see it from behind the goal, just wide.
So Martinez has meant so much to Birmingham this year. 15 goals, 8 assists, created almost 70 chances. Absolutely stellar year. Mix, the MVP conversation.
Just
Birmingham attack to start this extra time session.
too much. New York.
And beats Balarabi to it. No Marlon Santos, no Prosper Kasim, no Juan Agadello for Birmingham Legion. Extra time session.
Lapa is a very dynamic attacking player. He plays in an attacking midfield role, but he's got a great first touch, great vision, and he can score goals. Be
Minute session. Extra time. Gardner, Mike Yetman, have you with us tonight? On our score for now. Larrabee, Lopez, squares it. Lapa! Bruno Lapa scores! Birmingham Legion back in front in extra time.
emotional swings of a game. First a goal for Birmingham Legion, flying sky high, but Pittsburgh finds the energy and away, scores the late goal to tie it right at the end of regulation. You think the emotions and the momentum are in their favor, and then you forget about Bruno Lapa. He's scored goals his whole career, and as you see on this replay, finds that little gap, just waited for the ball to be played, and took it so cleanly with that right foot.
Wade's got a piece, but not enough. And Bruno Lapa scores for the 6th time this year. What a moment for the former All-USL performer, Bruno Lapa. Birmingham in front for the 2nd time tonight. Pittsburgh once again chasing. 10+ minutes left in extra time. Larrabee trying to hold it up. For immense pressure, Griffin won it back. For the Hounds right in front of the Pittsburgh bench.
Back where we started when all the substitutions were being made. Pittsburgh still with all their attacking players on the field, and Legion with lots and lots of defenders.
Opal goes to ground to try to waste a few more seconds.
Referee got the watch, keeping track.
More than 4 minutes left in this first 15-minute segment. Lapa goal the difference right now. As Ryan James is able to bring that down. James went to ground, did not get the whistle. Allowing players to continue. Touch a little heavy. Company win it back for Legion FC. The head coach Thompson earlier in the week. The biggest differences for this side this year was the depth had coming off the bench this year, something they didn't have prior years. Bellarabi around a man. Bellarabi denied by the foot of Waite. What a save.
That's a great save from Jamali Waite. That could have been the moment that finished this game off. Great quick turn from Bellarabi. Jamali Waite once again up to the task.
Roof commits the foul. Free kick for the Riverhounds. A game this has been, and the Englishman Sadiq Bellarabi acquired back in July. Matter of inches, perhaps, away from putting it on ice. Waite has made some huge stops tonight. Certainly as big as any of the others. Peters. We're trying to find a way forward. And back line. Ball over the top. Inquisitive. Comes of it as Van Okel will pick it up once it's approached. Two minutes left in this first 15-minute period of extra time. Lampa off the bench for the 13th time this year after 18 starts. Key moments start this extra time, and he's back on it again. Lampa leaves it for Lopez. Bellarabi. Lopez denied. Sims went to ground to make sure Lopez couldn't put that on goal. Lopez in on the challenge, and going to be a foul against Mikey Lopez. Free kick given for Pittsburgh. And who was down, Lopez over to check on him. Tell from our angle how much contact there was, but likely enough. We'll score Edward Kizza into the channel. First time service. Headed away from trouble by Dean. Good touch by Lopez to get him into space. James back to Jake Roof. Less than 30 seconds to go in our first 15-minute period of extra time, and it sounds like 1 minute. UAB Medicine stoppage time to end this first segment of 15 minutes. Bellarabi on the run. Keep it in play. Go at Peters. His service catches Lopez in the ribs. Bellarabi got it back. Second service over the inline. A Chick-fil-A corner kick coming.
I think Bellarabi's known for his pace. He's thought of as a winger, but he's playing in a central position tonight. And not only his pace, but his quick turns have been a real handful for this Pittsburgh defense.
This 1 minute of stoppage time brought to you by UAB Medicine to close out this 15 minutes. Lampa. Corner all the way back to his defenders. Came on to let a few more seconds tick off that clock. Martinez. For Lampa, back to him. Long spell of possession here, allowing time to continue to tick away from Pittsburgh. James, the former Riverhound, wins Birmingham a throw, and that brings the first 15 minutes of stoppage time to a close. 15 minutes down, 15 to go. Birmingham Legion in front. Pittsburgh 2-1. Mike, takeaways from that first 15 minutes.
My takeaways are really simple. Wow. What a half, and in particular, what a 20 minutes at the end of the game. Both teams showing their quality, and in particular, their quality in the attack. Birmingham Legion give up a goal to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh then, in added time or extra time, gives up a goal to a very committed Birmingham attack. And I don't think we're done with the attacking part of this game.
Another look at Lapa's goal, the difference so far.
Mikey Lopez, so clever with the cutback, knows right where Bruno Lapa's going to be. Can't get a better finish than that. Didn't try to hit it too hard, just kept his foot over the ball. Very little follow through. Perfect placement for the go-ahead goal.
Brilliant Bruno Lapa, former AC midfielder of the year in his time in Wake Forest. Stepped onto the scene. USL back in that shortened 2020 made an instant impact. All USL performer. But with injury back last season. And a late start to this year due to some visa issues. Spent a lot of time back in his native Brazil trying to get that sorted out. Late start to this campaign, but still would contribute half dozen goals plus 4 more assists. Tom Sohn said earlier this week it was a luxury to have someone like Lapa, even if he wasn't selected to be in the starting 11, could come off the bench, give Birmingham a little bit of punch. Defenders, when they're tired, he knew how prophetic those words might be. It's some tired legs out there right now for 105 minutes. Mike, there's still 15 more. As you said, it feels like the action's not done yet.
Players are all tired. They've run so many miles. Your body gets tired, your brain gets tired. Things just happen when your body and brain are this exhausted. Can Birmingham Legion keep their composure? And for Pittsburgh, you know that they don't want their season to end right now. They've worked for 7 months to get here. They're going to give every last drop of energy that they've got. There's going to be more attacking opportunities at both ends. I'm sure of that.
15 minutes down for time. There are 15 minutes to go. Birmingham in front, 2-1. Home side will start with possession. Here we go. 106th minute tonight from Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. Gardner, Mike Gatman, glad to have you with us tonight, whether you're watching Alabama, 68, Pittsburgh on the point 22. Where else in the country? ESPN Plus. Final Eastern Conference quarterfinal has been an absolute beauty to this point. For another twist and turn left in store tonight. Waits for goalkeeper. Had some incredible moments. Riverhounds within striking distance. Attacking options. Pitch right now for Pittsburgh. Who could come up with perhaps that moment? Birmingham's defense slammed the door on Pittsburgh's 2022. Ryan James with a key intervention. Rofo finds Mikey Lopez in some space. Mike, it's in Birmingham's DNA to press and push forward. Deliberate are they going to be here over the final 14, 13 plus minutes?
Love to be deliberate and keep the ball and just make Pittsburgh chase, but it's so hard to do for 15 minutes straight. If Birmingham don't attack, they're going to be under a lot of pressure. They're going to try to find that balance. Keep the ball when you must, attack when you can, defend every moment that you must.
What a shift for Robbie Mertz. It finally comes to a close here in the 107th minute. Pittsburgh make one final change. Kibara, the former Michigan Wolverine, Big Ten midfielder of the year, who comes off the bench for Pittsburgh for the 15th time this season.
Or a dangerous player, great work rate, but he's replacing perhaps Pittsburgh's dangerous player so far this match. Robbie Mertz has been all over the field. He's created chances, taken a few shots himself. Legion staff will be happy to see him execute.
Vida using his body to win possession back for Birmingham. There's under duress. Larby crashes into him. Free kick is going to be given.
Oh, and I didn't hear the whistle. I guess it that piece. I thought it needed to be a free kick, but I did not hear the whistle on that one.
Fair. Our referee Eric Tattersall has let the players play by and large tonight. We've seen some collisions between some big bodies. Keep the whistle. Good touches there. Aravo is dropped by Peters. Again, the referee opting to let play go.
Playoffs are big moments for officials as well. They earn the right to be on the field in these very important games. Referee lived up to the moment by not being too involved, by letting the players play, by being what he does call as a foul.
Dean and Lopez not quite on the same page. Cicerone off and running. Dana's trying to close it down, cannot. Here comes Kelly. Back out to Cicerone, but the pass a bit too heavy. Throw for Legion FC near that corner flag.
He's not quite on the same page. Cicerone had to dummy the ball and leave it, but Cicerone did not see it coming that way and just could not get.
Inez clears it as far as he can. Lapa can't get to it. Nibs. Put out by Kavita. Lapa. Time across the park to Lopez. Able to maintain it. Birmingham back in possession as time continues to bleed away from Pittsburgh. 10 minutes to go in this Eastern Conference quarterfinal. From James, Zach Aravo there waiting, and a throw for Legion FC.
I'm happy to see the ball go out of bounds. Allows them to let another 30 seconds tick off each time.
Into James.
Completely missed his clearance, really. Finley is able to win it back. Now Nick Lima. Daniel Pereira. Lima again. And this time was by Jose Martinez.
Disappointing. A couple of really good situations there. Gite did well to get hold of the ball initially and didn't put it off quick enough, and Lima likewise there in a really presentable position over on the right hand side, just fluffed his lines. Vital moment, and the players making their way into the 18-yard box should have given someone an opportunity to go and attack it.
Lima again launches in the throw. By Gallagher. In awkwardly, Cascante had stayed forward. Nothing to try and get something on that, not quite for Julio Cascante.
Able to outmuscle Martinez, possibly would have been given as a foul, but caused a few problems, hasn't he? Cascante got himself some touches in the 18-yard box, able to have a meaningful effort on the target as of yet, but certainly posing a problem.
Waypoint of the first half. Nothing in it yet. Which is with that one off the line right at the start. Perhaps the closest that either side have come. He lost 6 times on their travels. The entirety of the regular season, FC Dallas only suffered fewer away defeats twice before in their MLS history. An original member of this league. Chite, Pereira, and back again. Alex Ring. Gallagher. Gabrielson, who they brought in from Toulouse at the start of the season. In alongside Cascante, that's been the most familiar partnership at the back. The Verde and Black. Ring. Skipper just slipped as he delivered that one. And was a bit too much on it for Ethan Finley. Designated player at the start of the season. Here at the club after 4 with New York City FC. Plenty of previous playoff experience from his time in the Bronx. They're struggling to clear their lines here, and it breaks for Driussi. Gallagher. Looking for Chite. Farfan couldn't take the chance in conceding the corner.
Lovely ball in. There's no takers. Chite just breaks on, not sure why he did so. He found a nice area with his delivery.
Been the regular left back recently, starting for the 15th time in the last 16 games today. Kolmanich in reserve. Second corner. Going the way of Austin FC. Yeah. Go for Gundes to take. The 2 obvious targets forward from centre-back, but instead it is switched short to Nick Lima. Turned to Fagundes, now Ethan Finley. Another corner, they're claiming there it hit the hand. It's the shout from Finley. Ethan Jurasevich, by the way, is on VAR duty this evening.
Velasco, didn't it? Struck the hand, but that's not a penalty, can't be given as one.
Corner. It's in by Fagundes. And it's slammed home by Chite. And Austin ahead in the conference semi-final. Semi-final. Musushita brought back into the starting lineup tonight, was just the quickest to react in front of goal.
Well, they deserve the lead for their efforts in the opening 26 minutes. It's all about keeping it alive from the dead ball. It's a bit of a mess at the near post, but doesn't he finish it well? He falls to his right foot. Bit of a coming together at the near post. Just had to concentrate on the contact. An outswinger from Fagundes. Comes off a couple of Dallas players, doesn't it? A header initially, then a ricochet. And he steadies himself to volley that home beautifully. That's not an easy finish. There's still quite a bit to do there, but you get brilliant purchase on it and the direction into the roof of the net. It's absolutely perfect.
Driussi from behind, he was always risking the yellow card.
It's a poor challenge, goes off his feet. Driussi heavily involved already. A couple of fouls on him from Dallas players. In the mood once more.
Under that 2 bookings in the playoffs spell a suspension. Second yellow comes in the conference final. There is Driussi. Michite in support. Driussi going along. Doubling the lead. Austin's main man comes to the party as well. What a stunning season he has had. And a fine solo goal. Makes it 2-0 Austin. Dallas have not got started.
It's a horrible giveaway in the middle third of the pitch, but still, when he pushes it quite wide, I thought there was a pass on wide on the right-hand side, and it's a half chance, isn't it? But the finish, as Velasco comes short, just comes off his knee, gives the opportunity for Driussi to drive at the back four. I mean, he's got a lot to do there. You expect him to hit the target, but it's unerring the way he finds the bottom right-hand corner. Absolutely whistles past Martin Paz to give Austin a really good opportunity to make it into the conference final. Even at this stage, it's a big shout, but Dallas just have not started in this game. Austin really good value for the 2-goal cushion.
Well, they were 2-0 behind here last week after 15 minutes against Real Salt Lake and clawed it back to win on penalties. What a difference a week makes for Austin FC. What hasn't changed, though, is Driussi's unerring form in front of goal.
We're in the kind of territory now where you have to make a special dispensation for a player like Driussi. He's in such fine form. 12 attempts in the victory over RSL. He absolutely peppered the target. Everything good went through him clearly. Already today, having huge say in this game. He's to dictate proceedings somewhat in the opening half an hour. Thought Quignon possibly would do a bit of a job, just follow him around. Not been the case.
There's Quignon to Jesus Ferreri, who's looking for Areola. It was well defended. Fagundes to Driussi. Those 12 attempts that you mentioned in the previous round, an MLS record for a playoff game.
And Ferreira just having a touch there in the area, which is a plus. But 31 minutes in, I think that's his second involvement of the game. When you think about the comparison to the main man in Austin's colours, everything's gone through him. That's what Ferreira has to be for Dallas if they're going to claw themselves back into this game.
And himself capable over the course of the campaign. They need him to step up here. Riola is on the move through the middle. Forza all the way through. Driussi. 22 goals he scored in the regular season, just one behind Hani Mukhtar in the race for the Golden Boot, but already he has added 3 more in the postseason.
Better for Mariola. They've actually responded in a pretty decent manner. Lovely turn. Just a brilliant challenge. Just thwart him as he He was thinking about getting the strike away.
2 Austin goals in the space of 3 minutes, and they're in the mood for more here with Diego Fagundes. Chite to turn provider this time. As far as Ring by Gabrielson. Edges away once more. Might break for Velasco here. It did, invitingly into his path, but he just showed a bit too much of it too, Ruben Gabrielson. He was able to intervene and guide it back to his goalkeeper.
It's not settled at all. Velasco, another stray touch. If that was more secure, I'm sure, had he looked right, Areola would have been in for a chance. He was completely unopposed on the right-hand side of the pitch. Velasco's touch letting him down once more.
Gallagher waiting to take the throw. With Austin very much in the ascendancy. Riusi certainly helped put them there. The team that they have never beaten before. In fact, they are the only Western Conference club not to record a victory against Dallas over the course of the last 2 years. Nixon Rivals, one of only 3 teams in the Western Conference that they are yet to beat since coming into MLS. Might all change when it matters most tonight. Leo Kiscante, too far forward. It's been in just their second season, their sophomore season, MLS. But it can be done. Atlanta won it, the same stage of their existence in 2018. Very few would have predicted Austin, though, as challengers. And this season kicked off. In fact, that was a point that Josh Wolf made to his team. It's recently revealed that he, when all the pre-season predictions were made, printed them out, handed them to his players. Nobody had Austin even making the playoffs, I don't think. Well, maybe that his side weren't shown the sort of respect that they might have merited. They've earned that respect, he insists, over the course of this campaign. They've got some defending to do here as Tuamasi forays forward. Then holds it up for Savania to provide the cross. It was awkward. It's nodded out by Ring. Riusi back helping out his defence this time.
Really good challenge from Lima. Not nice when it's coming over your shoulder there and you know that the opposite fullback, Farfan, was arriving at pace as well, attacked it well. It's good, strong challenge.
Riusi. Lima. The US international fullback. Ito will chase after this. Tuamasi, his challenger. Proper tussle between those two. And now Fagundes. Viola had to get back. He's furious.
See why Gite has been selected for this, because he's given them a brilliant platform in the first half. Unselfish running. The majority of the balls into him have stuck. It's given them an opportunity to get up the pitch and quickly. In contrast to what Dallas is serving up right now, it's as comprehensive. At 2-0, you're likely to see defended really well, not giving the opposition a glimmer. Oh, continue in this manner, you would think.
Okay, Fagundes waiting to take this corner kick. Away by Ferreira. Back in his own box as far as John Gallagher. In again towards Ring. Clutched under his crossbar by Martin Pass.
To be full of Austin players' vicinity there. Completely unmarked. Ring, difficult header, slightly behind him, difficult height. Able to get firm enough contact on the header. Well, that's a worry.
Ite is down and Maxi Urruti has been sent to warm up. huge part that he has played already in putting Austin in such a promising position. Real concern that their centre forward went down here. The obvious replacement, if required.
Ball ring put over the top, wasn't it? A few moments ago, they competed for the aerial ball and then run to live, sprinted after it, but going at full pelt. And if that's a muscle tweak, that will surely be the end of his night.
Would be a significant setback for Austin. Vice coaching staff maybe just making the point that Rera. And I get to Fagundes for you. See beautifully back into the path of Diego Fagundes. Nick Lever to Ethan Finley. And that's with plenty back defensively. Can't afford any further damage before half-time, surely. Ring forward. In towards Lima, who continued his run. Hedges was just in front of it.
I'm surprised Lima didn't take the strike on earlier in that move, but worked out to Finley on that flank for a second time. That was a great decision. Ring just nice and patient, waited beautifully. It's a really good ball. It's the only ball that was on, really. There was no one in the 6-yard box, had to be dragged back. He put brilliant pace on it.
And all 5 of the first half, Austin get another corner. By Fagundes. By Matt Hedges. There again. And they get to Driussi. Chite, able to turn. Able to get his shot away as well, but he just got underneath it.
Well, they're petrified of him. It's a really good ball. Driussi continues his run, and I think that puts the seed of doubt really in the defender's mind. Whether nobody goes with Driussi again. Look at him just sauntering really into the 18-yard box, completely unopposed, and Chite uses that as a decoy, brings it infield. You can see exactly what he's trying, but just doesn't get the whip on the ball. Flies over the top, but it's been a real contrast. The 3 kind of stars for Austin in this first half. Centre forward, Driussi, Fagundes on the left-hand side. Finley started to come into the game, but the involvement of the Dallas front 3 has been sparse in comparison. That's the biggest takeaway, really, especially Driussi. His performance, very, very good.
They have stepped up so far on the big stage, haven't they? And Driussi again will continue to apply the pressure here to Martin Pass. Austin did claim the honours in Copa Tejas this season, contested between all the Texan clubs. Dallas won it last year. Austin took the most points from the derby matches. 8 of them in total, 2 more than Dallas. Houston bringing up the rear this year. This is the derby game that matters more than any other this year, though, and this is Ethan Finley, who couldn't quite collect it in his stride. Nearly 200 miles south from North Texas, from Frisco, for FC Dallas. Pennsylvania. They're not particularly convincingly by Cascante. Savenya again. His 5th season now, another of the homegrown players. When he signed, he was the 19th in their history. They've certainly had one of the most productive academy systems in MLS history. For so many to try and emulate, really, down the years. Going down in that coming together with Twumasi right in front of Catherine Nesbitt, the assistant referee.
Twumasi's probably been their most threatening player, I would say. Got on the ball a few times wide on the right-hand side when it's been transferred quickly. Fagundes can be slow to get back in. He's had his hands full, but other than that, very little threat.
Goes here towards Ferreira. Ariola helping it on. Fully nudged back by Gabrielson to his goalkeeper. Very animated Josh Wolf at this stage. Will have been delighted by what he's seen from his team in this first half. Here's Driussi. Arfan for Jose Martinez. Awkward for Martin Pass. Martinez, the Spanish centre-back, has spent time on the books at Sevilla and Barcelona, played for both of those clubs at B-team level. Season now since signing from Eibar. A regular partner for Matt Hedges at centre-back this season. It's a defence that was so strong. The regular season conceding fewer goals than any other team in the Western Conference. Only the Philadelphia Union let in less in the whole of MLS this year. That defence breached twice in the space of 3 minutes by Austin just before the half hour here. Quignon forward. Ariola almost in to try and take the shot on. It wasn't really extended by what followed, but that was more menacing from Paul Ariola.
Absolutely. It's best moment of the game for Dallas in an attacking sense. First time pass around the corner. Ariola does brilliantly, I think, to actually take that under his spell initially and then get the strike away before the challenge comes in. It's great footwork. Good idea as well to steer it towards that corner. Collision, but nothing given.
Quick check at that. Nothing really in it. Ariola back on his feet. The goal scorer when they met earlier in the season, trading those draws in the regular campaign. He opened the scoring in both matches between the clubs in the course of the summer. Dallas actually led by 2 in the first of them back in June, and Austin battled back for 2-2. Just hoping for a role reversal tonight. That's a minute of added time at the end of the first half here. Alexander Ring. Herrera alongside him. There's Gallagher. Fagundes outside of him. Back to Gallagher. Progress just held up by Savenya, but he wasn't giving it up. Gallagher forces the corner. There's time to take it.
Terrific persistence. I mean, this is big, isn't it? If they were to concede a third, That can almost be it, I would suggest. So, huge moment. Started to pose one or two problems in the last few moments, Dallas. So, not all's lost if they were to go in as it is.
They withstand this, though, don't they? Not the first time that Forgiveness has found himself surrounded by some of the Dallas substitutes when waiting to take a corner. He's not happy about it, neither is Joe Dickerson. O'Brien had a bit to say there. Fagundes delivers and it's punched clear by Martin Pass. That is going to be that for the first half, which has all gone the way of Austin FC. He started the scoring thanks to Moussa Jite's goal, and the lead was doubled by Driussi just 3 minutes later. That crucial stage of the contest affording Austin a comfortable cushion at half-time. Dallas have just begun to find a bit more of a threat the later the first half wore on, but has the damage already been done? Austin will certainly hope so. They put themselves in a commanding position, have the home team at half-time at the break at Q2 Stadium. It's Austin FC 2, FC Dallas 0.
שערים. בונדסליגה. בונדסליגה בשידורים ישירים. מספורט אחת. יש הרבה סוגים של גיבורי על, אבל פעם בכמה שנים מגיע גיבור שטרם נראה כמותו. דק כמו הענק הירוק, מהיר כמו פלאש, כמו איירון מן, והרבה יותר יפה מוונדר וומן. לא עוד גיבור על, הוא גיבור. משחקי ארלינג הולנד ומנצ'סטר סיטי בליגה האנגלית. בספורט אחת. שבת ישראל ויטמיטי. להכין ספורט אחת. שבת. שלושה משחקים מליגת 1-0 עם הקבוצות שלנו והכוכבים שלנו. ליגת 1-0 בחבילת הערוצים של ספורט אחת. גם מסע בין 1,000 קילומטרים מתחיל בצעד וחצי אחד קטן. של הפועל תל אביב ביורוקאפ יוצא לדרך. ספורט אחת. ליגה האירופית והקונפרנס ליג בכל חמישי. רק אחת.
Yo empecé en la cantera del Sevilla. Sí que es verdad que tuve una despedida un poco agria, porque me tuve que despedir de todos mis compañeros en la Supercopa de Cardiff frente al Real Madrid y no pude jugar ese partido. Unai Emery, mi actual entrenador, pues me comentó que ya estaba todo hecho con el Liverpool, que estaba ya firmado con ellos. La Premier League es así, todos los partidos son difíciles y sabía que tenía que acostumbrarme lo antes posible. Sí que es verdad que era otra liga, otro idioma, otras costumbres, eran muchos cambios en mi vida, con tan joven que era, pero tenía que acoplarme lo antes posible y adaptarme rápido porque si no, allí en la Premier estás muerto. Que fue un golazo, yo creo que ha sido el mejor de mi carrera. Y con esos aficionados del Liverpool ahí gritando con esas caras de alegría y no sé, eran tantas emociones, tanta alegría, no sé, fue un momento único que nunca olvidaré. Fue bastante rara porque los resultados no salían. Creo que nos eliminaron del grupo de Champions League. Después igualmente en el contrabesista nos eliminaron a la primera de cambio en Europa League. Nos eliminó también, creo recordar, el Aston Villa en Wembley en una semifinal de Copa. No sé, eran tantos palos que estábamos recibiendo y después en Liga tampoco teníamos los resultados que deberíamos de haber tenido.
Hello and welcome to the programme. Liverpool are on the hunt for their new manager 24 hours after sacking Brendan Rodgers.
Two strong candidates have already emerged to take over a side that lies 10th in the league.
Tenía que hacerlo de la mejor manera, agradar a Jürgen. Sabía que era un entrenador espectacular, al igual que Brendan. Agradarlo, escuchar lo que él quería que hiciera. Nos exprime. No sé si entienden la palabra. Nos exprime es que saca del jugador lo máximo. O sea, que no se conforma con que el jugador lo haga bien. No, quiere más, y más, y más, y más. Y siempre quiere más del jugador.
Wild challenge, isn't it? Clear penalty for me.
Al final yo creo que no hay ningún jugador que todos los partidos le salgan perfectos. O sea, pero estamos expuestos a eso. Estamos en el mayor nivel de fútbol y tendrás partidos mejores y partidos más malos. Cuando vino Robertson fue justo al año siguiente de que Milner jugara de lateral izquierdo, todo el año. Entonces, claro, yo hablé con mi agente, con mi representante, y hablé, pues bueno, que para mí Jürgen no contaba conmigo y que quería buscar una salida. Fui a hablar con Jürgen, entonces empecé a jugar, era ya titular, estando Robertson, y justo después de volver de la selección española, en un partido de Champions League contra el Esparta de Moscú, pues me lesioné en una jugada, fui a tapar un tiro y me rompí el ligamento interno del tobillo y estuve 2 meses fuera. Ahí ya entró Robertson y claro, tuvo oportunidad, tuvo 15 partidos o algo así. También vino el Boxing Day. Entonces él fue cogiendo galones, fue haciendo buenos papeles, fue dando asistencia, haciendo buenos partidos. Y a mí lo que más pena me daba era el irme de ese gran club sin haber ganado un título. Gracias a Dios, pues antes de despedirme de todos mis compañeros y de esa magnífica afición y de ese magnífico club, pues conseguí llevarme ese recuerdo de la Champions League. Sí que es verdad que me vinieron ofertas de ligas exóticas y eso, pero no quería eso. Quería volver a España. España y la verdad que en el momento que salió es... Y eso me va a quedar siempre aquí en el corazón.
Y ahora el pueblo que se alza en la lucha con voz de gigante, gritando adelante.
ליגה הספרדית חוזרת בעונה חדשה ומלהיבה. רק בספורט אחת. שבת ישראל אמיתית. והכי ספורט אחת. שבת. ישנו שם משחקים מליגת 1-0 עם הקבוצות שלנו, כוכבים שלנו. ליגת 1-0 בחבילת הערוצים של ספורט אחת. גם מסע בין 1,000 קילומטרים מתחיל בצעד וחצי אחד קטן. של הפועל תל אביב ביורוקאפ יוצא לדרך. ספורט אחת. ליגה האירופית והקונפרנס ליג בכל חמישי. רק אחת.
Sogni figli che li cercate a società, nel momento in cui ci li accomodiamo. Este pintor della Checker Power.
עונת 22-23 בליגה האיטלקית. ספורט אחת.
רצינו להציע לכם להצטרף למסע האירופי של הפועל באר שבע בקונפרנס ליג.
משחקי הפועל באר שבע בקונפרנס ליג בשידורים ישירים. רק בספורט אחת.
Come di vuoi passare a bombe, wow. Senza fulla di mouse, senza porta in pizza mostra, wow. It wow, wow.
לפני גמר המאסטרס, טורניר פריז מסבב ה-ATP 1000. חבילת הערוצים של ספורט אחת.
Y ahora el pueblo que se alza en la lucha con voz de gigante, gritando adelante.
ליגה הספרדית חוזרת בעונה חדשה ומלהיבה. רק בספורט אחת. הסיפורים הגדולים בעולם במקום אחד. ספורט אחת.
עוד לא מאוחר להצטרף לליגת החלומות הרשמית של וואלה ספורט וספורט אחת. הכירו את הנבחרת המנצחת שלכם ותוכלו לזכות בפרסים מטורפים לאורך כל העונה. ארוחות מפנקות עם כל החברים לאלופי המחזור. קונסולות משחק אקסבוקס לאלופי החודש. בחבילת ספורט בחו"ל למכונית שווה לאלופי העונה. ליגת החלומות, עכשיו בוואלה ספורט. הורידו את האפליקציה.
It's all going the way of Austin FC so far in this Western Conference semi-final. Musa Jite putting the home team in front just before the half hour. It was a lead doubled by Sebastian Driussi only 3 minutes later. Austin leading by those 2-0 against their Texan rivals. We await the start of the second half here. Austin back out already. It is Dallas that have the work to do. Paying the price, Sam Parkin, for a really slow start to the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was one-way traffic, wasn't it, from the opening couple of minutes? A few warning shots fired for Gundes. Unfortunate not to give them the lead prior to the opening goal from Jite, but I think Jite, Gundes, Driussi, that trio really have had a bit of a field there in the opening 45 minutes, and it's up to Dallas to try and get their front three into the game. You have to counteract that with doing a bit of a better job at the other end. Driussi in particular needs to be better marshalled, but the front three haven't come to the party at all from a Dallas perspective. Velasco, excellent in the previous round, not happened for him so far, and no surprise that already Estevez has looked to his bench.
Another striker thrown into the fray for the second half. Franco Jara is on in place of Brandon Cervena.
What that does as well, Phil, it gives... We've seen Ferreira playing really deep. Now there'll be a focal point for the side, and he can do that, and that's not so much of a problem. I think in the setup in the first half, there's no one making the box, there's no one occupying centre halves. It's all in front of Austin. Now he can stay up against the centre halves, and Ferreira can be a little bit freer with his movement, and hopefully, from their perspective, have a little bit more of an effect on the game. It's no good not having anyone who's working that back line.
The experienced Franco Jara on regular substitute this season. He is actually one of Dallas's designated players. Came off the bench 23 times in the regular season and for the second straight game in the playoffs. So a delay of about a couple of minutes before the second half got going. But we are underway here with the onus very much on the FC Dallas to try and save their season. Extend the game. Role reversal for Austin, who had to come back from 2 behind in the previous round against Real Salt Lake. Josh Wolf that day made 3 half-time changes, but much more satisfied with the way this one is going.
It's a really small thing, but a ball back to front. Centre forward challenges for the ball, wins a free kick, and they're up the pitch straight away. In the first half, that would have come straight back, unquestionably.
O'Hara straight into the game. Third season club now, since he's moved from Pachuca in Mexico. Farfan trying to force a way forward from fullback. Herrera back to his goalkeeper. Stuber just had that one relatively routine save to make from Paul Arriola at the end of the first half. The only effort that Dallas had at goal in the first 45. Scante clears here. Action goes against Quino. It's the one player booked in the first half. Touched on it earlier. 2 yellows in the playoff, spelling a suspension. There are 2 players on the pitch, a booking away from missing the conference final should their team get there. Austin, who of course are currently much more likely to get there, that is Alexander Ring, the captain in that situation. But it will come back at them here. Velasco in awkwardly. They've been picked out by Quino. They'll keep it in play here, Alan Velasco. Support from Farfan. Still with time to reset defensively. Jose Martinez is the one that will hoist it into the penalty area. And it was a chance for Ferreira. He knows it. He didn't make the most of it.
It all comes about because Stuvers just tried to be too cute in the Austin goal. Just had to get the ball up the pitch. Dallas able to have a little bit of pressure, and he's very deliberate with that strike. It looks brilliant if it comes off. Tries to steer it into the bottom corner. Plenty of pace on the effort, but couldn't get it directed to the right-hand corner of the net. Maybe given that chance again, he'll just put his laces through it.
Ferreira was a goal scorer on his Dallas debut at the age of 16 back in 2017. Certainly become a key player for them this year. He wasn't able to take his chance. Austin respond. It's away by Hedges. Ferreira and Areola, though, both into double figures this season. The first two Americans to do so for the same side in a single season since Clint Dempsey and Will Bruin for Seattle in 2017. He knows all about the threat that his team could be facing here. That threat wasn't too apparent, though, in the first half. Goes the throw from Lima. Ante again had ventured forward to try and get on the end of it. We're now on 36 goals. His MLS career, he's still only 21. He has joined third actually in their all-time scoring stakes already. Sco is the one chance, really. We're trying to provide the service for him. We're only the second player in MLS history to reach 30 career goals and 20 assists at the age of 21 or younger. The first to do it is in the opposing ranks today, Diego Fagundes, during his time with the New England Revolution. Josh Wolf isn't happy, is he, at how this second half has started, seemingly?
Just don't want to give the opponent a glimmer at 2-0. So often we see the team in the lead just taking their foot off the gas somewhat. I think the third goal finishes this as a contest. Saying it, one thing going and achieving it, such as will be the tone, I'm sure, of the Dallas team talk would have been to give so much better than they've shown in the opening 45. I'm sure there is a ringing. That was really below par, given the context of what's in store tonight.
A split second, Chito thought he might have been away, but Jose Martinez went down and got the free kick. Farfan. Yeah, they have to find a response now. Estevez's team. Martinez forward. O'Hara. Passes into Nick Lima, who glances behind him in the referee's direction. Let's get the decision that he was hoping for. A little bit of actors as well between he and Hara. It was the other player, wasn't he, Franco Hara, that tried the Panenka penalty in the shootout in the last round. He and Velasco scored. Hara only just. Put out Minnesota on Monday. They're coming back from behind. It was just a one-goal deficit in round one. Five times this season, Austin have found themselves 2 goals behind and got something out of the game. Winning 4 matches incredibly from that position. Themselves on top today. More conventional way of doing things if they can see it through. Whoever did well initially wasn't able to hold on to it. O'Hara was the target for the evidence of the focal point that he is providing. One back well by Marco Farfan, quickest to react to that. And still going here, Farfan. Areola leaves it for Ferreira. It's wide again. Getting closer. He's getting more involved.
Yeah, I mean, the pendulum has just swung in this game, hasn't it? Dallas's favour. Decent attempt once more. It's for good fortune, really, that ricochets wide. Plenty of space around the D to look at his options.
Ruby and Gabrielson, hence the corner, which Ferreira himself is going to take here. Scored from a corner kick in the previous round. Quignon's goal against Minnesota, having only done so 3 times in the whole of the regular season. To join alone in Major League Soccer. Nothing came of that one. And the referee was right on the scene.
It'd been an on goal if he'd allowed that to go on. I think there was a foul on Farfan. I think that's the Dallas defender that was the furthest back, just trying to sweep up on the halfway line. But what a start to the second half it's been for Dallas. Much better, shown more in the opening 8 minutes than they did in the entirety of the first 45. Same shapes now. That alteration just seems to have inspired them to